Hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition of the Cairns Student Hub Hubinar. Today, I'm joined by Julie Pass, an immigration agent here at Clear Migration in Cairns, and she'll be able to explain to us about the genuine temporary entrant requirement for the student visa, and she'll explain the new changes that are coming into effect this year. Welcome, Julie.
Thank you for inviting me and to give us an opportunity, to answer some of the questions. A lot of the students are asking all the time, So yeah, it's good to be able, to explain
in more details what they need for the GTE, right? The genuine temporary entrant requirement. First of all, could you explain to us what it is exactly?
Yeah. So the GTE, it's what they call the genuine temporary entrant requirements. So basically the idea is when you're coming to study in Australia, you're only coming to study in Australia for a short period of time. And once you complete your qualification, you will go home or in another country where you can use your Australian qualification. So that's what they mainly wanted to see, that you're only coming here for a student visa, and at the end you will probably go on. That's the idea behind this requirement.
So they want to make sure that you're coming only for your studies and not to try to find a job.
Yes.
In the country, right?
Yeah. So the student visa in Australia, they not done to come here, look for a job, or as a pathway to a further visa to work here. Or it's working,
yes.
And it's not prohibited, obviously, when you got your qualification, if you have an employer and if you meet the requirements, you can always apply, most of the time for another visa.
Yes.
But that's not the intended purpose of the student visa. The idea is you come here to get, world-class education, a very good degree, probably, in an English-speaking country, so you can also, have a better English level, and then that can be also, a good point for future employers that, you lived and studied in an English country. But yeah, that is the idea. You're coming for this.
Okay. And can you tell us in more detail what information, what evidence the prospective student needs to include in the GTE?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. So when you will complete your student visa application, in your online application form for the visa, there is a question. There will be a page where you have a little square box where you can enter some details, and they will say, basically explain why are you coming to study in Australia and why you're studying this course. You can always add a statement with it. If you have more things to say, that's, but the idea is like you explain first why you're studying this course. So is it relevant to your, previous qualification or work? For example, you've worked in a restaurant and now you want to get a cook or chef qualification. So you explain, that you have experience, but you don't have the qualification. So, that's explain this. Or if you change your career pathway, why are you changing, what? So the idea, why are you studying this course first? And two, why in Australia?
Okay.
Because is it not available in your country? Or if it is, why do you choose to study in Australia? It's always good also to explain why, if you study in Cairns, why did you choose to study in Cairns or in Melbourne, maybe you have family, maybe the weather is similar to where you're from, or you've already looked and it's not too expensive in Cairns to live, so that's good for you. It's a small city, so just show them that you have, looked at, what you will be doing, and that's why you took this decision. A little bit, just explain your decision, and then explain what it will bring for your future. So, will you have better career opportunity? What's the plan after? Are you planning to go back home, or are you planning to go in a third country, and apply for a job there, or, if you have any plan for the future, and that you will use this qualification for, that's yeah, that's what they want to see. So they just want to see, you know, that it's you're genuine, you think about the future, you're not just coming to do a course, you know. So why did you choose this course? Why this area?
Yeah.
And then, yeah, what it will bring for you in the future, you know.
Yes. So they want to understand the motivation of the student, why you are coming to this particular area, why you've chosen this particular course, and how it's going to fit in with your previous studies and your future career plan.
Exactly.
Right. Okay.
And another point that they want to see also, it's more about your general, you know, situation and what they call your incentive to return home.
Okay.
So do you have a job back home that, you know, for example, your employer said, oh, if you get this qualification, then you can be promoted. Or do you have a family business, you know, and you're coming to do a business course, you know, so you got the qualification to run the family business. Do you have family? Do you have a fiance? Do you have, you know, little brother and sister you need to take care of?
Yeah.
All of that is very good to explain as well. So you need to explain that, but also provide evidence.
Okay.
So it is not always enough to just say, oh yes, you know, I have a fiance. Okay. Maybe provide, you know, a statement from your fiance, some photos, some evidence that they exist.
Yes.
You know, if there is a family business, evidence of the business registration in the family name or, you know, ownership title, anything that can prove what you're saying in your statement, it's very good, because otherwise they tend to refuse applications saying, oh yes, you explain all of this, but we have no proof.
Okay, there's no evidence to support it. No evidence.
Exactly. So they don't take it too much into consideration, as if you're proving everything you're saying. That's got a lot more weight for your application.
Okay. It's going to make the process easier for them to assess.
Exactly.
Okay. And have there been any changes in the last year to the GTE when you apply for the GTE?
Yes. So in November 2022, they have changed a little bit the requirements. The ID is the same. It's just in the online form, now you have a word limit.
Oh.
So it's a 300 words limit or 2,000 characters. So the online form will stop you as soon as you pass over this limit. So the idea is to be concise, you know, to explain in a short statement the main relevant points. You can always add, you know, a written statement on top of it with your application. You upload it, like you upload your birth certificate and all other documents.
Yeah.
If you have a little bit more to say, but they will mainly look at what you put in the online form first. Okay. So that's where you have to get the main point, you know, the most important and relevant part should be there.
Okay.
But yeah, the idea hasn't changed. We've seen a lot of refusal recently all over Australia, mainly for Vietnam, Philippines, and India. Low-skilled occupation, like trade schools and things like that.
Okay.
They seem to assess them a little bit more strictly at the moment. So any people from this country, I think, write a good statement explaining why and put evidence of what you're saying.
Yes.
That will be, you know, you can use a lot of, if you have a small business and you only have a Facebook page, you put a screenshot of the Facebook page of your business.
Okay.
You know, just everything you're saying, add a little something to prove it.
Yes.
It will really help.
To give yourself more chances of being assessed positively, right? So to include as many evidence as you can. Yes. And who assesses the GTE? Who's in charge of assessing the GTE?
So they're the case officer at the Department of Home Affairs. So when you lodge your application, they will be sent to a processing office. Mm-hmm. There is a different one in Australia, one in Adelaide, in Melbourne, in Sydney, and there's some overseas. They will send it to one of them office, and then a case officer will pick up the case and will assess everything. So they will assess the GT requirement, but also the financial requirement, check your COE. So it's the same person that assess everything. So that's why, you know, it's good to provide everything when you lodge the application, because you never know when they will pick it up, and they don't have to request, you know, more evidence. So Don't wait for them to ask anything. Put everything at the
Put everything
beginning.
at the beginning.
Yeah, you get the best chance. The GTE, they rarely ask for more evidence, so that's why put everything at the beginning.
At the beginning, okay. And how long does it usually take for the GTE to be assessed? Is there?
It's assessed with the visa application.
Okay.
It's all in one. So
all in one.
depending on, the course you're studying, the processing time are different.
Yes.
But it will all be assessed at
the same time. Okay. Well, thank you very much, Julie, for coming here and explaining to us the GTE requirements for the student visa. If we have any prospective students that have more questions or they want to get in touch with you, how can they contact you?
Yes, so you can go on my Facebook page, Clear Migration, and otherwise you can always send us an email at info@clearmigration.com.au, and we're happy to provide more advice and answer some questions. We also education agents, so we can assist with enrollment, and that's also. The GT is also part of this because a lot of school and university, they will also ask a GT statement
Yes.
at enrollment. So, it's good to have it done.
Yes.
First. And yeah, if you have any, issue or you're not sure, it's always good to contact, a migration agent. You can go on the Umara website. We're all there. And, we're all happy to help.
Excellent. Thank you very much for coming today and explaining to the prospective students. It's been a pleasure having you. And thank you. And for all of you watching, we'll be back another week for more information on different topics that will be of interest to you as prospective students or students that are already here in Cairns International Students.